Your head is just a place to store your teeth, huh? Welcome back. Today, 20 people who are completely, unshakably sure of themselves and completely wrong. Let's start with someone who just reinvented the laptop. If wireless PCs existed, we could literally take them anywhere and use them to be even more productive than having to plug them into a socket all the time. You mean a laptop? I think I said PCs very clearly. Do people go to places without doing any research at all? I mean, would you not look up things like when hurricane season is, when tsunami season is, shark season, crime rates, and so on? I did not know earthquakes and tsunamis were seasonal, or that you could just plan around natural disasters. There are times of the year when they are more likely to happen in certain places, yes. Not earthquakes, though. There is no big difference between ducks and geese. These things terrorize people in Canada if we go near their nests. She was lucky and encountered tame ones. That is not true. A duck will eventually grow into a goose. What? No. The first time I learned, ducks hiss. That is a goose. They are literally the same thing. Actually, it is 0.025%. 0.05 times 0.05 equals 0.0025. You also forgot a zero. 0.0025 is the same as 0.25%. What? It is 100 times smaller than 0.25. If it were 0.2500, sure, it would be the same, but not the other way around. 0.25 is 1/4, while 0.0025 is 1/400th. Tell me, which number would be smaller? My laptop, with a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, couldn't keep up when it was set up incorrectly. It caused tons of lag in real life because my CPU was actually running as the GPU. Once I set it up properly, the 1050 Ti still caused a little lag here and there because it is just not a very powerful chip. I'm guessing your hardware is either not that strong or it might be getting bogged down by other things. Well, I am on a laptop. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, an AMD Ryzen 7730U, and 2 gigabytes of AMD Radeon graphics. Is that good enough for Rocket League? In earlier seasons, I didn't have this lag, so I'm wondering why it would lag this season if my hardware didn't change. I also use AMD software. Adrenaline Edition set to performance mode. I'm on a laptop. Congrats. You found out the reason why your game doesn't run good. That hasn't been true for a long time, as there are many laptops with great specs now. This game is 10 years old. I could get 240 frames per second rock solid on my own laptop, no sweat. As it is, I make it look nicer and get 144 frames per second. His laptop only runs at 60 frames. He said so himself. No, his monitor only runs at 60 Hz. That's different. It could be outputting 240 frames per second for all we know. What kind of laptop needs a monitor? All of them. The laptop screen is a tad bit different from a monitor. Anyways, there's no reason why they would build the laptop with enough power to run at 240 frames if it was capped at 60 Hz. Therefore, his laptop must only run at 60 frames, not 100 plus. The logic is bulletproof. Surely there aren't thousands of examples to the contrary online. Let's not check and just assume you are right. Do you know what Trinity means? It basically means a solid group of people. It means 3. It could mean 3. It could also mean 4, 5, 6. You're being sarcastic, right? The prefix tri means 3, not always. Does the tri in the word field trip mean you are going on 3 field trips? Don't always believe prefixes. Not Earth is spinning at more than 1,000 miles per hour, but the force pushes down, not out. The force of gravity is significantly stronger than centrifugal force. If we could somehow turn off gravity, even for a moment, the Earth would destroy itself quite quickly. Gravity? Really? Yeah, it is so much stronger that hydrogen and helium rise away from the center of mass. If a force is strong, it would not be overcome by gas lighter than air. Does gravity not work on gases? It is easier to hold down a child than a bodybuilder, not harder. If anything, the force holding us down is basically the weight of the air itself. This is consistent with how buoyancy works in water, which is just hydrogen and oxygen molecules chemicals claiming. No, it is not. Yes, it will rise above the air, but it absolutely cannot leave Earth's gravity. It rises above the air because of density too. It is the same reason oxygen is above the Earth while all the rocks are not floating around everywhere. Less dense things are at the top, and more dense things are at the bottom. A cloud can weigh 500 to 1,000 tons. Just search how a cloud weighs. It is literally smoke. How does it weigh something, little bro? It is not smoke. It is water. Okay, well, Water still does not weigh anything when it is just floating. A platypus is a monotreme, not a mammal. You could at least be correct if you are going to discuss things like this. Monotremes are egg-laying mammals, lol. The platypus is a mammal. It is a monotreme, a type of mammal that lays eggs instead of giving birth to live young. You may actually want to fact-check yourself. I am sorry, what? Monotremes are, in fact, mammals. In 100 milliliters of a 40% ABV drink, 40 milliliters are alcohol and the rest is flavor and some water. If you mix it with 100 milliliters of an alcohol-free mixer, you now have 200 milliliters of drink, but still with 40 milliliters of alcohol. The amount of alcohol hasn't changed, but now it comprises a smaller amount of the total. What was 40% is now 20%, but the amount of alcohol is the same. No, alcohol doesn't work like math stuff. If you have a boozy drink of 40% alcohol, no matter what, it's still boozy. The booziness never goes under 40%, even if the alcohol changes with the flavor of the mixer. It also depends on your body weight and how fast you drink it. If you're scrawny and shotgun a beer, good luck. Puking doesn't get rid of the booziness. Nope, still 40% or maybe more. We're halfway. It gets more confident from here. If you're new, subscribe. It's what happens when you get a group of theater nerds, a decent budget, and let them make the movie they want rather than what they are told to want. If I remember correctly, the writer for the film is the author of the book the movie is based on. It's a very faithful adaptation. No, it isn't. And it isn't very accurate to the book. Thank goodness. It is the one movie that is better than the book. Anyway, the movie was directed by Rob Reiner, while the book was written by William Goldman. That's the one, although mine was cheaper. What? You didn't spend $2,000 on a Pokémon Ring? Is it USD or another currency? I assumed USD, but you're right, it could be a different currency. I think 20 to 30 different currencies use the dollar sign. Only the USD uses the dollar sign. Other currencies have their own symbols. Other countries use the US dollar, so you'll see the dollar sign in other countries, but that doesn't mean it's a different currency. It's possible the person posting the sale didn't use the proper symbol, and it is a different currency. But if you see a dollar sign, you're to assume it's US dollars. Yes, when the rocket is releasing the combustion fuel, an exact force is pushing it in the opposite direction. Moreover, a rocket struggles to move through Earth's atmosphere more than it does in the vacuum of space. But what are you pushing against? Keep in mind that there is approximately 1 molecule per square meter in space. It does not need to push against anything. That is the point. Incorrect. Try again. 1.5 terabytes of RAM? Bro, if you do not know the difference between memory and storage, you probably should not be making videos about anything related to computer hardware. You have embarrassed yourself a bit there, mate. 1.5 terabytes of RAM is correct. I could not care less is a double negative, which absolutely means I still care. I could not care less is not a double negative. It is a single negative and literally means you have no more care to give. Could not is a contraction of couldn't, which makes could not care less. It is a double negative. If you are going to try to correct someone, maybe know what you are talking about. We do not get vitamin D from the sun. I am more trying to say that it is not where we get our vitamin D from, not that you cannot get it from the sun at all. Google is free to check. We get most of our vitamin D from the sun, but sometimes it is not enough, which is why some people who are deficient need to take a vitamin D pill. Yes, we do. But some people have less, and skin color can also affect how much. Nope, you get it from foods like fish. That is like saying your body does not need water to survive. Are you sure you graduated? Computers will start thinking, and the people will stop. This is literally the antithesis of the Tron franchise. It just goes to show that you have never seen the movie and are just spewing ignorant nonsense because you watched Terminator. No, my friend. Tron is about appreciating the beauty of humanity. You are just too ignorant to be appreciative. No, I am just quoting the movie. I have never been to the moon, but from what I understand, there is zero gravity there. Zero gravity? Gravity on the moon is about 1/6 of what we experience on Earth. There is no atmosphere, but there is gravity. So I am guessing that you have been there? If not, then you are just believing the stories of others. Well, considering gravity is a universal force of attraction acting between all objects with mass or energy, one could reasonably and correctly assume that gravity is a thing on the moon as well. Have you been there to see that it does not? If not, what credible, verifiable source can you cite to argue against the existence of gravity on the moon? I have no verifiable facts to argue with you at all, nor do I wish to. Just to let you people know, if anybody owns any kind of Lysol spray that kills 99.99% of germs, read the back of the can. It has the Hantavirus ingredient in it. Please get rid of your Lysol cans. Your head is just a place to store your teeth, huh? Wait, you think Hantavirus is an ingredient in Lysol? Oh, good lord. Did you read the back of the can? Are you even slightly embarrassed by how stupid you are? Lysol comes with norovirus. Where did you get yours? I am trying to collect them all. This will burn your house down during a thunderstorm. No, it will not. The whole point of them is to prevent that from happening by directing the lightning to them, directly where the wood is. In real life, yes, but in Minecraft, it will prevent it from catching fire. I implore you, test it and then comment. That's 20. If you made it all the way through, comment confident below. I want to know who actually stuck around. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the next one.